Hey guys, it's Marty and welcome to Two Line Slot Cars. This is Christmas week, and all across the world, there are lots of people who got slot car tracks for Christmas. And that's an exciting time in the hobby for you, the beginner, and for us who have been around the hobby for a little bit. We are excited that you're here, but if you've tuned into this video, you know that I'm going to share the top 5 things you need to know if you are in your first week or two of owning a slot car track. And so let's find out. So guys, I am super excited that you got a slot car track for Christmas. It could be a Carrera track like mine. It could be a Skelectric track, a Polycar. It could be a bunch of different HO brands out there. There's a lot of choices when it comes to slot car tracks, but I'm just super excited that you're here. And so the number 5 in my list of 5 things you need to know as a new slot car person in the hobby, that you just got your first set for Christmas, is you need to set up the track. But there's some things you need to know when you set up the track. Be very careful when you put the pieces together. There are little metal flanges depending on what brand of track that you bought or that you received from Santa Claus, right? So understand that each type of track connects differently. And so be very careful when you snap the track together. It's really easy to put together, but just make sure that you don't have any of the little metal flanges that went someplace they weren't supposed to. A lot of times people complain about their cars not going around the track very smooth and it losing power. It's because the track might not be set up properly. Okay, so some tips for the track. The sooner you can get that track up off of the floor, the better off and the more enjoyable experience you'll have. But hey, you're in your first week, so we're not going to build a table just yet, right? We're going to look for the best place to put it. A real low pile carpet is great. A hardwood floor makes it super easy, but you'll get some noise from a hardwood floor. So I always recommend like a low pile carpet or a rug that you can put it on. And but that does cause some other issues, right? Like dust and dirt. So just make sure that you check your track, make sure that it's properly assembled, and just follow the instructions. It's really easy. There's a lot of videos out there that can help you with this piece as well. I know some of my earlier videos were all about being a beginner in the hobby, and I shared some of these things on how to build a layout and how to design a layout and some of those things. But let's not get ahead of ourselves, right? Let's just enjoy the starter set the way it comes, that it came Christmas morning, right? There's lots of time in this hobby, lots of things you can do that will continue the excitement day after day after day, week, month, years down the road, okay? So make sure you get your track set up. Number 4 thing that you can do that will make your experience so much better is clean the tires. So every time you get on the track, make sure you clean those tires. A clean tire is a happy tire. Clean the tires, clean them often. You can use a rag, and you can use some Windex or Simple Green, or some people use lighter fluid, depending on the type of tire you're using. These are rubber tires, so there are some things you can treat tires with, but we're not going to get into that. That's something you can learn down the road. What I want you to do is just understand that this car, well taken care of and clean, will continue to run really well. One of the first things that I notice that happens with somebody that gets a new set, they put it on the floor, and they have a little sister that has really long hair. So I would always pick up the car and make sure that you don't have hair wrapped around your axles, right? Or even in your brushes. These are things that can make the car not perform at its optimum level, right? But starting off with clean tires is really great. You can use a lint roller and clean the tires that way if you don't want to use something wet. But again, a clean tire is a happy tire, as Harry Wise always says from Home Racing World. So, yeah, clean your tires and clean them often. The number 3 thing that I want you to know these first couple weeks is don't worry about tuning this car. There will be time down the road, if you stick it out with this hobby, that you'll learn how to make this car go even faster. That's okay. What you have to understand is everyone's going to be on the same page, right? Everybody's going to be in the same situation in your house. You set the track up. Everybody's going to be on equal terms. No one has more experience than the other person unless, maybe dad or grandpa or mom or somebody has raced slot cars in the past. But everybody will be racing cars from the set that are similar. They're going to perform very similar. So as long as you've cleaned the tires on both of them, you've kept them clean, you've fluffed the braid, okay? I'm going to show you what the braid looks like on this, and that's what your braid should look like. A little frayed right at the edge, and they'll wear over time, more laps, but that's how you want them to look on the Carrera car, okay? And, yeah, so basic tune. The other thing you might want to do is get a little bit of silicone oil. And this comes from Slot Car Corner, but you can also get like 3-in-1 oil at synthetic 3-in-1 oil at your local hardware store, and that will work perfectly. The nice thing about this is it's got a little needle nose on it that makes it very easy to go in here and oil your bushings where your axles ride just to prevent wear. Okay, and so with this car, that's really all you need to do. There is a gear inside. You can see it right there in the middle of the axle. It's white with teeth, a little bit of lithium grease, some type of silicone grease, and it works well, and it just keeps this car rolling really well. Okay, so don't worry about getting it tuned to go as fast as possible. Just keep it clean and oiled. The axle's oiled, and the brush is clean. Maybe a little bit of oil on the guide so that it moves nice and smooth. Outside of that, you're ready to roll with these Carrera cars or Skelectric cars. They don't need a lot. The number 2 thing that I want you to know about your first couple weeks in owning a slot car track is always clean the track. Keep that track clean. A shop vac or a sweeper, a Swiffer works really good. And just wipe the dust, keep the slots clean. Again, like I said, it would be best to get that thing up off the floor, but most of the time in the first few weeks, I was on the floor here in the basement for a couple weeks, right? So just keep that track clean, because if the track's clean, then clean tires stay cleaner longer, and you will have more fun with your track. It's pretty simple. Clean track, clean tires, happy car, more fun, right? And then the number 1 thing that I want you to know, being new in the slot car hobby, is have fun. There's so much information out there that you can get caught up in. Oh, I need to do this to my car. I need to do this to my track. I need to buy a bunch of track pieces. I need to build a giant table. I need to expand and grow and get big. You know what? Just have some fun. Have fun with your family, have fun with your friends, and then grow at a pace that you can afford to grow. And so if you buy a few extra track pieces after a month or so, make your layout bigger. You build a table to put your layout on so you don't have to crawl around on the floor, and get that track up off the floor so it stays cleaner longer. Those are some of the things that you can set as goals down the road, right? Now, your set might be a digital or analog. There's other things that come along with that. But I just want to make sure that you have fun. Like, there's so much information out there. People tell you that you need to pull the magnets out. You need to put magnets in it. Just run the cars how they came in the set. Carrera, Skelectric, Polycar, they make the cars that they make they run out of the box, right out of the box. Now, can you make them run better? Yes. That's a whole nother video. That's something that you invest time in down the road in your hobby journey. But I am just glad you're here. This is an exciting time to be in the hobby of slot cars. It is booming with new products, new cars, slot car companies that are making some beautiful cars that we get to enjoy on the track. But you know what? Those 2 or 3 cars that came with your set, those will be some of your favorite cars that you own throughout the hobby. So enjoy running them. Run them till they don't run anymore. And then you'll learn to fix them and tune them. And that's when you grow in the hobby. So guys, if you like this kind of content, hit the subscribe button, give me a thumbs up, hit the bell so you get notified anytime I put out new content. It had been a while since I've done a video about a Carrera car, my original Carrera set, and I love my track. I love it. It's one of my favorite things in the last 20 years that I've done in my life to pick up as a hobby. I've tried lots of things, but slot cars have just been a blast. I get to drive cars that I normally wouldn't get a chance to drive in real life, and I get to have a lot of fun with my brother and my best friends, and I've met so many people through this hobby already that it's been pretty special. So I hope you enjoy your new slot car track. I hope you had a great Christmas, and I hope you had a lot of fun with your family. But remember that number one, always have fun racing on your slot car track.